It may be Super Bowl Sunday, but we've got business to handle first in Tennity Ice Pavilion. Stony Brook and Syracuse, final home game of the weekend series here on SU Hockey Network. Welcome into the broadcast booth. Spencer Buley alongside Caitlin McDonough. Caitlin, fourth game of the regular season between these two. So far, it's been all Syracuse.
All Syracuse really needs to do is play Stony Brook every weekend. It seems back in November, they beat them twice in a row. That snapped the 6-game losing streak, and we saw it last night. A beautiful game from them, scoring 5 goals yet again. Maybe the key is just to play the Seawolves every night.
And in searching for a change to end this trend, Stony Brook is going to be starting their freshman goaltender in Michael Foglia.
That's a huge storyline going into this game because Foglia has only played 3 games, and in those 3 games, he's allowed around 4.5 goals a contest. So, he's inexperienced, but you just have to wonder maybe what's going on last night. Was there something, an injury problem that we've seen that maybe allowed him to step into the starting lineup? Because it's definitely an interesting call. He's a little inexperienced, so maybe this is the boost they need because coaching staff might want to change their luck and say, hey, this is a new goaltender. Let's see how you perform.
Stony Brook is ranked second in the ACC North, so it has been a surprise to see Syracuse take them down 3 times, searching for that 4th win here today at Tennity. Puck drop coming up next on SU Hockey Network, 2 p.m.
stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night as our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Syracuse and Stony Brook, the fourth game of the regular season between these two. Syracuse looking for a season sweep. They won 5-3 last night. A huge performance out of Ben Brandt with a hat trick, including the game winner and the insurance goal. Caitlin expecting another big night out of him. He's got 5 goals so far against Stony Brook this year.
It just seems like it's inevitable every time the puck is in his stick.
The Seawolves win the faceoff against Brandt, but it's given right back to the Orange, who will start with the possession. Brandt flips it in. Winrick will chase after it for Stony Brook. He's stapled into the boards by Duffy. The Orange win last night, snapped a 6-game losing streak. Jake Brown pretty much epitomized the attitude after that win. Saw him coming off the ice. He said, finally. Feels so good for this squad to have a win. Brandt works below the right circle. Tried to feed the slot. Couldn't get there. Chesner centers inside. It was loose in front. An early chance for Brendan Duffy. Never got a good stick on it.
Just couldn't quite reel it into his stick, but that's a really great warning sign, especially against the Seawolves defense, who we talked about in the pregame. It's a new goalie.
It is Michael Foglia, the freshman, who's played in 3 games. He's 1-0 so far. Gives up just shy of 4.5 goals per game, rather. Has about an 85% save rate. He takes over for Reginado, who started last night and gave up 5 to the Orange, 3 to Ben Brandt. Foglia plays it around. Missed the stick of Gorzelnik's shot, misses just wide from Cato. Duffy collects, keeps it in the blue line. This is Jack Duffy. Knocks the stick out of one Seawolf hand. They'll try and clear. Cato chasing after it. Rung back around. And loose in front. Rugg with an early shot. Gets leveled after the fact. RJ Simber delivered the big hit after blocking the shot. And it's offsides.
That was a nasty hit to Carter Rugg, but good to see him get back on his feet. But I've been very impressed with how Syracuse has started this game so far. Really much of the puck has been in the offensive zone. The Seawolves haven't really found their way to AJ Finta's net.
It was the total opposite last night, too. Very quick goals for Stony Brook. Syracuse was playing behind pretty much the entirety of last night's game. In front once more. The 3rd or 4th time Syracuse has had one in the slot. Here's Trezera coming the other way. Had it poked free. Good defense and recovery there by Murphy. Well, outlet to Fanning across the center line. Doesn't have any numbers, so sling left and gloved by Foglia.
Just the second shot Foglia has faced tonight, but he saved it And so he's been peppered with a couple of shots so far, some early tests for him, but he stood well to the task.
That's going to be all about getting him settled in. Again, just a freshman who's played in 3 games, 1 start to his name. He did win that game. But getting a couple of easier saves to start off. Thomas holds the blue line, missed Pendleton, but it's all the way around for Aiden Emery. Free with the Seawolves. They'll skate through the neutral zone with Mara. Bringing it all the way in. Working around Thomas, now and in behind. Circling back, trying to get it to the point, and loses possession. Nearly a breakaway for Pendleton. Instead, it's back with the Seawolves. Mara still working on the puck. Wenrick. Couldn't get it past Brandt. Labos collects. Has a man on his left. Great defense from Ryan Thomas. Brandt back through center ice. Dumps in far side for Caddo. In and behind. Brandt takes a hit from the backside. Eats some ice, delivers it right back. His stick is stuck. Can't get to the puck here on the right boards. He delivers a shot, and that's going to be a penalty on Ben Brandt.
Ben Brandt just not happy that he was shoved down in the first place, so responds because his stick was trapped and just cross-checks really close into the boards. He's really no stranger to seeing the penalty box either.
He started last night's game with a penalty as well, and Stony Brook was able to take advantage of it. Got into it with Lorenzo Mara. Mara, one of the ones to watch for Stony Brook with 9 goals so far on the season. He scored unassisted just over a minute into the game last night against Syracuse. A quick opportunity on the right side, and they score! Deja vu for Syracuse as Paul DeSaro puts in the opening goal.
And if you're Syracuse, you're scratching your heads thinking, how? Just one shot on goal, and that results in a goal for Stony Brook. It has largely been Syracuse's to take, venturing into the offensive zone, but again, the penalty coming back to bite them. Ben Brandt, a very, very talented player, but just the same thing that happened last night.
4th goal on the power play this season for Paul DeSaro, 19th of the year. He leads Stony Brook in that category, and the Seawolves take an early 1-0 lead. A massive shot delivered by Ben Brandt just beyond the blue line. Doesn't make a difference. Seawolves still able to break into the zone, but McLean takes it back. Now for Brown, and through center ice. Given back to McLean. Here's Duffy. Tried to ring it all the way around. Brandt will send in. Shot deflected. Cormanick was on it. Nestepny couldn't handle it. Cormanick and Nestepny fighting for it for Stony Brook. Chipped free by McLean. Never got a clean look. Here's Cormanick on the right side. Doesn't have any numbers. Almost made his way towards Finta, but great defense from Connor Chesner, the captain. And shot deflected on the way in. It stays in, never went out. Came off the stick of Haskins. Duffy takes this hard shot into the boards. They'll pry it free. DeSaro, right side. Cormanick surveys in front. Almost got there. Rather, it was Haskins who took the shot.
And that was just a fantastic save by Finta. Right on this doorstep, just stuck his pad out and kept things a 1-goal game. 2 shots in, and Stony Brook looked like they had better chances.
Carter Rugg takes a shot. It was deflected on the way in by Wenrick. And here's Hyde. Through neutral ice, looking to push in transition. Malik just dumped it in. Hyde still chasing after it, won't get there. Instead, it's Simber. Wenrick had the puck behind him, didn't realize it. He'll skate back for it. In on the forecheck. Weimer tries to deliver the check, but they get it across to Trezera. Moving through center ice. Gorzelnik inside, another close chance for Stony Brook. They'll maintain possession. Brandt will have it behind the net to Rugg. Gives to Trezera. Fanning can't clear, but it's out of the zone, and Trezera will just dump in. Stony Brook staying strong on the forecheck. Hyde comes away with the turnover. Centering pass on the far side, sent towards Finta, never got there. Jack Wren down the right wing. Had Fanning in front. It was loose for a second, but Fanning never got to it.
And the fact that Fanning didn't get to it actually probably made the shot from Wren just a little bit better. Folio was screened. He couldn't see the puck at all. Just a little bit fortunate that it did hit his right pad. Very close call for Syracuse, almost.
They would have had the numbers, maybe a rebound opportunity. You're exactly right, Caitlin. Foglia just never really saw it. He was screened all the way. That one missed Fanning's stick. Jack Duffy collects, back for Fanning. Nobody home on the backside. Cato will try and keep it in, and they get it around him. Here's Legrette racing after it, and he forces Finta to glove it. What an effort.
Looked like the puck was just beyond him, and he wasn't really going to get to it, but he uses his speed very well, and he cuts inside in front to put himself in between the puck and the defender, because in that situation, very easily could have gone down and spilled into Finta as well, but good job to stay on his feet and alert play from Finta.
Syracuse wins the draw. Cook gets it to Wren, and Wren will race forward in the right wing. Down towards the circle, centering pass, just missed the stick of Chris Fanning. Cato keeps it in, bumped all the way back to Fanning, and sticked away by Foglia. The Orange recollect. Wren in and behind. He's double-teamed. And the Seawolves can't clear the zone. Jack Duffy sends it back in. Wren trying to play it for the Orange. Fanning all over in the forecheck. And Cato now an opportunity. It just escapes the blue line. Syracuse will have to tag up. Cato dumps in, and the Orange will change.
Another good possession right there from Syracuse. Had some shots on goal. Doubles the Seawolves shots total now.
4 shots for the Orange, just 2 for Stony Brook, but they lead 1-0 off that power play goal. Here's Emery ripping one. It was blocked on the way in. Collected by Vernillo. He'll clear, send to the left side for Winrick. Into the stick of Pendleton. Syracuse plays back, and Pendleton once more. Emery had it cut off. Brown back in his O-zone, all the way around the boards, back to the center line. And dumped in. Stony Brook will stay strong on that forecheck. Saw this a lot last night. Gave the Orange a lot of issues clearing the puck. Brown fanned on the clear. Now to the left circle. Vernillo missed just high. Haskins collects, keeps it in the line. Walks it to the left, fires towards Finta, sticked away. Pendleton had it chipped. Here comes Vernillo once again. Left side, Mara, centering pass, scores! 2-0 Stony Brook. Anthony Vernillo, the forecheck pays off.
And you talked about how difficult it was for Syracuse to clear the puck, and that just goes to bite them yet again. Had a couple opportunities to get it beyond the blue line, but just couldn't get it and get enough juice on it. The Seawolves do a fantastic job of just staying with it. It was a great little feed, backdoor, and just bundled over the line.
And just like that, it's 5-4 in shots as well. Stony Brook on that forecheck. 3 quick shots. And a quick glove save here by Michael Foglia.
Trying almost to be a quick response from Syracuse, 2-0 down, and you kind of have to say it's a little bit against the run of play potentially as well. Looked like Syracuse came out of the gates flying, but the Seawolves have just turned this game on its head.
Last night felt like a lot of runs just like this as well. And of course, Stony Brook started off 2-0. And this one in the pads of Foglia. But the Orange were able to battle back. It took a while, took all the way into the third period. I mean, with these two, it's never over.
No, you can't count this Syracuse team out. That's one thing we've learned throughout this whole season. They will fight until the end. You can't let them get that one goal because they'll just keep going.
Duffy couldn't find it and takes a huge shot. Thanks to Kormanek. Back the other way. Stony Brook, another shot. It's loose and collected by Brandt, who just launches it to the center line. Valenti was there. Here's Jack Duffy, or rather Brendan Duffy. McLean tried to send across, hit Ben Brandt. Now it's Jack Duffy on the right circle. Centering pass off the pad of Foglia. And McLean fanned on the shot. Right side quickly, DeSaro. It's a 2-on-1, couldn't get the pass in the center. And Finta couldn't handle it once again. He just has not been able to control the saves.
For as well as Finta has played so far, the rebounds have certainly come in favor of Stony Brook.
Gorzelnik chasing after it, and Rugg leaves behind. And up and out of play, but Syracuse just still unable to clear it. Finta can't glove it. The Orange just feel out of sorts here.
That first goal, I think, rocked them out of their shell just a little bit. And that second one maybe have, given them something to think about as well. It just seemed like those two goals have taken the wind out of them because they had a very, very good start. 2 shots within the first 2 minutes, really controlling things in the offensive end. But so far, Stony Brook's just been able to control the puck more.
And a big face-off win here as they work to the right side. Anastasio dumps all the way. Cato's there. And it's pinned up on the left inboards. Pride free. Von Tersch collects, and he's double-teamed. And now another chance in front. Collected to the right. Anastasio sends in. Finta deflects it off his left blocker. Rugg over the top. Foglia's there. Back for Gorzelnik. Chesner keeps it in. Working to his right. Sends one in. Weimer chases after it. Couldn't get there. Simber around Chesner. Finta's there. Just works it behind his goal. Weimer missed the connection with Parker. And it trails all the way back for Stony Brook. Weimer. Rather, that's Wren. Cook tried to get it to Fanning. Couldn't get there. And Stony Brook, another transition opportunity here. DiNapoli was skating through the middle. A huge tie-up along the right boards. And Syracuse skates away with it. It's temporarily 3-on-4 for the Orange. Wren missed it. Takes a hard shot. Cook comes away with it, looking in front. Couldn't get it there. This time they do. Fanning couldn't put it home.
How many times is that where Syracuse has the puck very close to the crease, just can't get the stick on it. Inches away from potentially getting one back.
Offside's called on the Orange. 8:23. It has been an exciting first period so far. Just over 11 minutes in. Stony Brook up by 2. Thanks to a power play goal and then a Vernillo goal after a hard-earned forecheck. Thomas sends it across. Murphy dumps around. Duffy is there. Ahead for Brandt. Was behind Brandt. He didn't realize it. McLean fighting on the backside of Mara, and the Orange pry it free. Brandt slap shot inside. Deflection couldn't go for Duffy. And Brandt had the last opportunity, but it's saved by Foglia.
Syracuse just seems to be growing in confidence now, despite being 2 goals down. A very nice string of passes to almost get one past Folio. He is young, inexperienced as a freshman. 10 shots so far, 10 saves, but now the Orange get a chance, maybe potentially some of their best chances on the power play right now.
Joey Trezera is headed to the box for his first penalty of the night, so the Orange working about 20% on the power play, have their first opportunity of the night. Shot inside, took a deflection on the way in. McLean, second chance, just missed. Brandt collects and missed Jack Duffy. So that's going to buy at least 30 seconds gone on the power play as Stony Brook can change. 1:30 left on the penalty kill for the Seawolves. Thomas Left side. Sends back around. Brandt has Duffy on his right. Left point. Brandt looking to shoot. Gives to Duffy. Back to Brandt. Duffy. And they ping pong back and forth. The Tea Party on the left side. Thomas has a lane. Easily off the pads, collected by Duffy. Circling around, looked to feed to McLean. At the point. Back to Thomas, left side with Brandt. Fires in off the pads and sticked away nicely by Colin Winrick. McLean circles around, off the pads again. Jack Duffy has McLean up top. Just under 40 seconds left on the penalty kill. McLean, one-timer, just misses to the right. And it's gloved up by Foglia.
It's a good stop by the freshman netminder right there just to collect the puck in, because that was almost a full minute where Stony Brook was just defending that penalty.
Syracuse looked pretty good on the attack last night, rather. 1 goal apiece for both of these teams on the power play. Syracuse had 6 chances at it. Stony Brook had 3. And both were able to take advantage of at least one opportunity. The Orange looking to do that again here and start chipping into this lead. Murphy, shot wouldn't go. Chesner, back to Murphy. One more time inside, and it's swallowed up by Foglia once again with 18 left on the power play.
The Orange are doing excellent on winning not only the faceoff, but then winning the battle right near the boards as well to just keep generating shots. They're peppering Foglia with shots right now. A huge uptick from what we saw in the first couple minutes.
A big face-off win. Murphy didn't get it in. So it's a delayed offsides. The Orange will have to tag up. And that will bring this power play to an end, as with 3 seconds left on the penalty kill, the Seawolves clear the zone. Back to even strength. And ripped in by Murphy. Rugg and Parker are in on the forecheck along with Cook. He collects the puck. Tried to send it into the crease. Nobody was home for the Orange. Malik. Long pass to the right side. It converts to DeSaro, but it got chipped before they got it into the offensive zone. Kowalski fires towards Finta, and he will dish out to Cato. Back around. That missed the stick of Von Tersch. Middle shot. Saved twice in a row by Finta. He's out of his crease. And the Orange stick it away. Finta's been put to work here in the first period. Trezera, deflection saved by Finta.
The team better buy a nice treat for Finta if Syracuse goes on to win this, because wow, what a save. Sprawling all over the crease. Seemed like the Seawolves were absolutely going to score, but he just denies it, shuts it down, read the puck very well, and sprung across his net.
That was awfully close. The deflection came from Kormanik there at the end. Shot, pad save made. Gorzelnik had the early chance right out of the draw. Under 5 to play here at Tennity Ice Pavilion. Trezera rips it to the right, skating in and kept out of the slot. Nice defense on the backside by Chesner. Trezera circles around, leaves behind. And this pass intercepted. But back to the Seawolves with Gorzelnik. They dump all the way through. Icing waved off. Collected by Chesner. And the route was jumped by Gorzelnik. He's been all over the ice tonight. Doesn't have a goal on this season. Still searching for that first one. Duffy. Parker. Chesner, rather. Off the pads. Collected by Haskins. Sends for Anastasio. McLean playing the puck. Through center ice. Brandt will have to chase after it. No icing. They'll find Duffy. Brandt through the neutral zone. And these two teams continue to play ferociously in the low slot. Missed McLean on the cut. Thomas, interception, shot sticked away. Stony Brook having the hard time now clearing their zone. Legrette sends in. Murphy on the right wing has Cook in front. Off the Cook screen, just wide. And the Seawolves collect. Nice move by Vernillo. And it's offsides on Lorenzo Mara.
Maybe a lucky break there for Syracuse. Stony Brook definitely had the speed and maybe potentially some numbers there, but it's been a great response from Syracuse since going 2-0 down. It looked a little flat after that second goal, went in, but ever since then, they're starting to show more signs of life, really winning that face-off battle and just generating shots.
Just over 3 to play here in the first period. Centering pass in the crease. This time it was kept out. Mara circles around on the right side. And now Fanning takes it away. Elects to dump in. Anastasio tried to clear it. Cato almost got the stick on it. Here comes Mara. Left circle. Centering pass. Scores! Pops A.J. Finta's bottle. And Stony Brook an unbelievable showing here in the first.
To say it hasn't been coming is an understatement. Stony Brook does a fantastic job of just clearing the puck, using their speed to break across the blue line. And it was fantastic vision at that back post to set it up on a nice tee for Labos to set it up.
Peter Labos' 5th goal of the season, the freshman from Plainview, New York, having a solid season, and he puts Stony Brook up 3-0. Maybe just feeling some of that revenge mentality coming out from Stony Brook after losing the first 3 games of the regular season to Syracuse. So Lorenzo Mara gets credited with the apple. He's now got an assist and a goal in this series. But a lot of work to do here for the Orange. Just over 2 left in the first period. They've had some good opportunities, but haven't been able to put that first one home. Rugg forces the stick save. Now he'll chase after it to keep it in. Sends it behind. Weimer will be the first one there for the Orange. Back up top, Murphy forces another tough save. Nobody there on the rebound. And the Seawolves clear. DeSaro. Rugg couldn't get there. DeSaro has options, left side, scores again! 2 goals in less than a minute. William Kormanek. 4-0 Stony Brook, just speechless here at Tennity.
Speechless is right, Spencer. I mean, you can't really describe what's going on right now. It was great strength from DeSaro to fend off one of the Syracuse players. Again, great IQ and awareness to wait for his teammate to come and set him up on the back post. 2 goals in a row where they've just held the blue line, crossed it over, and just found someone at that back door. But speechless. I mean, Syracuse started this game so well. It's just gotten away from them.
17th goal of the season for William Kormanek, first of this series. If you're a Stony Brook fan watching, you felt like Kormanek at some point was going to put one home versus the Orange. And he finds his first this weekend. Duffy across. Just over a minute left here in the first. McLean sends in and around. Brendan Duffy's on it. Back to Chesner at the right point. The Orange don't have any numbers. Now the tag-ups collect. Fanning, Duffy, Chesner at the point. Back to him, and Chesner couldn't keep it in.
There's a couple times now where the puck has just escaped and gone beyond that blue line, forcing Syracuse to make a change and lose momentum.
35 seconds left in the first. And the crazy thing is, Syracuse still leads on shots, 19-17. Stony Brook has just converted on the opportunities. Gorzelnik brings through the neutral zone. Right side to Hyde. Had an option in front, couldn't get it back to Gorzelnik. Feels like any time the Seawolves come rushing through, this place is holding their breath. And with 3 seconds left in the period, Simber just drops it back. And the first intermission is on the way. 4-0 Stony Brook. Wow.
Wow is right, Spencer. I mean, to go 1-0 down off a power play goal just a couple minutes in, it's not the best thing in the world, wasn't the worst, but just ever since then, Stony Brook has just really, really hammered it into Syracuse. And it's a combination of just speed and strength. You mentioned Syracuse does lead in shots, but it's the opportunities that the Seawolves are creating. They're just creating better looks. Syracuse right now just firing towards Folia's net, but there's a lot of traffic in front of him, not maybe getting clean looks.
A lot to figure out here in the first intermission. Does AJ Finta stay in? What do the Orange change on defense? 4 goals, 4 different scorers for Stony Brook, and they lead 4-0 as we head to the first intermission here on SU Hockey Network.
Syracuse has some work to do this period. Down 4-0 to Stony Brook. 4 different goal scorers. Spencer Buley and Caitlin McDonough on the call for you. Spencer, where do you think it went wrong for the Orange?
I think defensively they allowed too many opportunities around the slot. I think that was their biggest issue. You know, we left there talking about, you know, are we going to see a goalie change with Finta maybe subbing out for one of the backups? But I don't think so. I think we see Finta skating on the ice right now. You can't really put him at fault for all those opportunities that he let in. I just think it felt like every trip that Stony Brook took down the rink, it was a scoring chance.
Syracuse did have opportunities itself, especially on the power play, really controlled that well, but just at the end of the day, nothing to show for, even though they do lead in shots, 21-17. Second period almost just about to get started. Syracuse needs some life into them. We start things off. Stony Brook controls it, brings it down near the line. Haskins, one of the goal scorers, sends it all the way into the right corner. Finta comes out of his net and sends it all the way across the boards. Brandt with speed across one blue line, hits it off the boards to himself. Almost gets on the end of it, but it's great defensive work there from Wenrick. Still in the offensive zone for Syracuse. Behind the net is Brandt. Sends it to Duffy. Tries to feed it to Chesner. He does get there, but it's poked free. Syracuse still has it, though. Behind the net. Haskins just sends it all the way forward. Still in the offensive zone, but now it finally crosses that blue. Forces Folia to come out of his net. Now,
I think this is a good start for Syracuse. I think that them controlling some offensive zone time here to maybe get settled in. I mean, that's what they're going to need. They need to be on the attack. They don't need to be on their heels to start things.
and this mimics how the first period started, where Syracuse was on the offensive side, getting a couple shots to test Folia. So far, no shots this period, but they have seen most of the puck.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, Stony Brook came out and was on their heels, and they, of course, responded so quickly with those 2 goals, but it was all Syracuse off the rip.
Thomas goes and feeds it behind the net. He was given a game miscontact and ejected yesterday. Some physical battle from him, and we've seen some physicality already. Both these teams not really the biggest fans of each other. Here's a shot. It's saved by Folia. Fanning with the initial attempt. Here comes the Seawolves. Through center ice. A big hit there. Murphy sends down LeBeaus. Seawolves still with it. A swing and a miss there. Towards the left face-off circle. Swings across Finta's net. Stony Brook still with it. Fanning clears and sends it all the way up ahead to Wren. By himself for now at 2-on-1. Crosses the blue line. Shields one. Has the puck. Whiffs it. And gets shoved. The Seawolves break out through Anastasio. Sends it all the way forward behind Finta's net. He pokes it and leaves it for Jack Duffy. Up ahead, it's tipped by Cook, and it goes all the way into the Stony Brook bench. So Syracuse with potentially its first real test of Folia's net to start this period.
Yeah, they just need to keep firing away. I mean, that's the biggest thing right now for the Orange. You're down by 4 goals. You can't overthink it. It's got to be 1 goal at a time. You have to think in your head that this is just a 1-goal game. You know, you chip away at the lead. It's not going to happen probably in 1 period. I mean, it certainly can. That'd be great if it did for the Orange, but that can't be the mentality. It's just 1 goal at a time.
We saw last night, down 2 goals, came back to tie it at 2-2. Was down again and kept clawing their way back. So you're absolutely right, Spencer. It's going to take a whole team effort, but the Syracuse team knows a thing or two about comebacks. Finta sends it across. Duffy collects and sends it all the way to Rugg. Pokes it just beyond, and here comes the speed. Just misses out Parker. Seawolves now with it at center ice. Tried to find right face-off circle. Shoots. Finta blocks it and shoves it away. Valenti retreats. Here comes Syracuse through Parker. Sends it all the way on. Loops it around. Syracuse changes and brings some of its players in. Takes a hit, but it delivers it all the way to Pendergrass. And up to Pendleton. Emery to Pendleton. Almost. Emery still with it. Sends it back. Pendergrass collects, looks to Brown up top, instead sends it back. Emery chases it on the far side. Gets a hit, but delivers the pass. Syracuse still keeping the puck alive in the offensive zone. Emery works through, shoots, but it's blocked by Folia. Glove down. Still loose. So Syracuse still peppering Folia's net. They've yet to have a goal go in. Folia with 23 saves. But here's a shot on the other end. Glances just wide of Finta's net. A real back and forth contest in this second period.
And you have to give a ton of credit to the netminder in Foglia for Stony Brook. I mean, it's his 4th game being played, just his 2nd start of the season. He's looked spotless.
It is just his 4th game. He usually gives up 4.5 goals. So far has been perfect between the pipes. Real confidence boost. Here's Stony Brook right in front. Goes just beyond the reach. DeSaro almost got on the end of it. Now it trickles all the way down into Stony Brook's end. DeSaro sends it forward. Malek shoots just high and wide of Finta's net. Goes into the side netting. It's a warning sign that's more 2-on-1 hockey for the Seawolves.
I really like the intensity that Syracuse has started this second period with. It felt like in the first, Stony Brook came out with that kind of revenge mentality, and here in the second, Syracuse has been the team that's delivering a lot of hard checks into the boards, ramping up the physicality. I think that's what they need.
Syracuse knows a thing or two about physicality, especially in the form of Ben Brandt, who just almost got on the end of that puck. Served a 2-minute minor in the first period for cross-checking. Thomas, and he had a penalty in yesterday's game as well. Finta collects and sends it into his chest. The shot there from Kowalski. So a little bit of pressure now ramping up for the Seawolves, as it was Syracuse who started the period applying pressure to Folia.
Yeah, they've responded well. I mean, that's what these two teams have done this whole series. It's just one team on the attack for 3 or 4 minutes, and then it feels like the other team just responds immediately and goes on a stretch of their own for a couple of minutes.
A stretch all important in that first period. 2 goals in quick succession to end the first frame for Stony Brook heading into the second. Here's McLean. Crosses the blue line, spins, shoots, fires it, almost finds its way. Ben Brandt on the doorstep in front of Folia's crease. Again, Syracuse putting traffic in front of the netminder. Just can't get it to fall. And here comes the other end. LeBeau skates, it's poked free. A great stick there, but another rebound, and they score! Labo sets it up, and he gets his 2nd of the game. A 5-0 lead for Stony Brook. They've just outskated the Orange in all departments today.
Well, it was good defense by Syracuse to shut down that quick run, but it's just another unfortunate situation for Finta. You had Thomas right in front of him, and Thomas actually ends up kind of giving this puck to Stony Brook on the right side of the crease. Finta was there waiting for it. Thomas was in front. He handled the first shot, but then it got loose off of his stick, and it was just sitting on a golden platter for Labos.
It's 5-0 so far, and at this point you wonder, does head coach Timmons pull out Finta and maybe put a new netminder in to just get some life back into Syracuse?
I feel like that would be more of that decision than anything, just a change of life and attitude, but it's just hard to blame Finta on a play like that. I mean, maybe he should be more aware of what's happening to the right of him and see Labos coming down on his right side, but that's really all you can ask for him. It was so unfortunate that it went off of Thomas's stick.
So we saw yesterday that Syracuse scored 5 goals. Now it's the Seawolves scoring 5 goals, except Syracuse has nothing to show for just yet, and you can't say they haven't created chances. It's been all Stony Brook all game. Here's Cook, left face-off circle, trying to change that, sends it across, no one there. Fanning was closest to it. Now it's batted down by Cato, the assistant captain.
Would have probably liked to see Chris Fanning take a little bit sharper of an angle, especially when you're down by 5 goals and not even midway through the second.
Redden crosses, shoots just wide of Folia's net. Had some power on it. Still with it in the offensive zone for Syracuse. McLean loses out. A 3v3 in favor of Stony Brook. Now to Hyde. Looks across. It's whiffed. He's shoved into the boards. It goes near Finta's net. Just on the side netting. Batted down. Syracuse still can't clear it. It goes all the way beyond the blue line. So the Seawolves have to come back so they're not offside. Chesner chases it, but Finta comes out. Covers the puck. Doesn't allow DiNapoli. And after the whistle, DiNapoli and Chesner go after it. Some pushing and shoving there.
Yeah, no surprise between these two. Mentioned how they're just not exactly friends. The in-state rivalry, it's getting competitive, it's getting chippy, but Syracuse just still trying to work their defensive end, prevent any shots from getting in on Finta. Finta electing to glove there. I think it's a good choice. Just try and slow this game down, especially in your own D zone.
Finta sees another one, steers it wide, uses his stick to send it all the way into the side netting. And after the play, Anastasio gets shoved down. So 5-0 down. Syracuse losing. Stony Brook just coming out of the gates on fire. 4 goals in the opening period. One by Labos this period, his second of the game. Nothing just really going right for the Orange so far.
Yeah, and you have to be careful here with the extracurriculars as well. You can't afford to waste any time on the penalty kill. You have to maybe let Stony Brook come after you, but you cannot be the one initiating or even retaliating, really.
Absolutely. Haskins towards the top blue line, sends it to Hapsani. He gets shoved down by Pendergrass. A big hit. A couple times, another hit there. Syracuse instead gets shoved themselves, so Stony Brook returning the favor, and there's some more extracurriculars right in front of the bench. Emery just shoves someone, everybody flying down. The referees finally step in and intervene. Emery still with some harsh words after the whistle blows, and this is something that if you're Syracuse, and potentially even Stony Brook, you don't really want to see.
Yeah, and it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey here. They're going to send Emery along with DiNapoli to the box. Both just roughing each other up on the boards there. Not a great look. I mean, you felt like it was coming. These two have just been biting each other at the neck this entire time here in the second.
So the second penalties of the game for both Syracuse and Stony Brook, that does lead to 4-on-4 hockey. And this could be the wake-up call Syracuse needs, because with extra space, can really get some shots there.
So what I was just thinking, I mean, Stony Brook has been the faster skating team today, but Syracuse, I mean, look, 5-on-5 certainly wasn't working, so you might as well take the opportunity in 4-on-4 and make it feel like a bit of a power play or some sort of different opportunity to get something going.
It is not a power play, but you can definitely treat it like that. Syracuse using the power play to get a goal yesterday through Bren Brandt. He is on the ice along with his fellow first-line teammates Nathan McLean, Jack Duffy, and Ryan Thomas. The call is offside. Syracuse just a little eager, couldn't quite keep his skate on the blue line. So 15 seconds gone basically in the power play, or 4-on-4 hockey, I should say. Both teams still trying to feel each other out with the extra space.
And I think for Syracuse here, it's important that you just try and hold the puck. Try and hold possession. That's exactly what Stony Brook's doing right here off the opening draw there, but just get yourself some possession time.
Syracuse the one chasing the game. Stony Brook in cruise control right now. And behind the net is Cormanick. Just leaves it off all the way for Haskins. Skates with speed beyond the blue line on the left. Uses the board to pass it to himself. Now drifts in the right corner. Cormanick receives it just behind him. Spins, shoots, goes just to wide left of Finta's net. Haskins gets it back center ice and passes it all the way back. Wenrick looks for one of his teammates. Takes it all the way behind Folia's net. Some patience here for the Seawolves as they try to break free of the blue line. Cormanick sends it to Desario. Gets shoved. Instead sends Duffy down to the ice. Anastasio collects towards the top right of the blue line. But it's picked up by Duffy off the boards to the other Duffy. And he'll get on the end of it as Syracuse changes. About 30 seconds left on 4-on-4 hockey. Brown all the way across to Chesner. Shoots, and it's blocked by Folia. It's spilled. The rebound doesn't go in. Some chaos in front of Folia's crease, and here comes the Seawolves. Vernillo uses speed, goes beyond the goal line, gets shoved into the boards. 5 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey.
There's a really close chance there for Syracuse. I mean, Fogley, like you said, he was losing gloves, pads all over the place, sprawled all the way out, but that's just been the tale this entire game. Syracuse with opportunities like that, but nothing has been able to go.
Here's Wren trying to change that narrative. Skates, shields the puck, slides all the way in the right corner. Looks up top, instead keeps it himself, sends it all the way to Murphy. He shoots just wide right. Thomas collects. Syracuse still with the puck in the offensive zone. Behind the net. McLean leads the team. Excuse me, that was Cook. He almost sends one, but here's a 2-on-1. Vernillo Crosses the blue line, now 3-on-1. Anastasio to Bacterin off the crossbar. Almost from Stony Brook. Close to making it 6, but here's Fanning. Both teams just ramping up the pressure. Syracuse with a great chance on one end. Stony Brook then hitting the crossbar on the other.
It was nearly an own goal off that crossbar. That just would have felt like the nail in the coffin for just how this game has unfolded. And this is going to be on Stony Brook's bench, I believe, on the coach. I think our official is going to get head coach Chris Garofalo.
He was chirping at the referees, and not sure why. His team's 5-0 up. There's not much for him to talk about. The referees having absolutely none of it. You see Cormanick, they are trying to talk to the officials. Now Cato joins in on it for a little bit of a captain's talk. The coaches are still going back and forth.
I think what they wanted was a penalty on Syracuse. I think they wanted it on Cade Cook down here inside of their D zone. He boarded somebody pretty hard, and I don't think Stony Brook liked that, and he continued to kind of, I don't say push him when he's down. He didn't make any contact like that, but just kind of stood over him, didn't quite let him get up super easy. I didn't see the number of the Stony Brook player, but it was a kind of an ongoing scene back here for a couple of seconds while play moved on in the front. And I'm not 110% sure that's what he's arguing for, but that's what I think he's arguing, because I saw him kind of waving his arms back into this area down here in the D zone along these near boards.
It was a big hit into the boards. You can hear it all the way up here into the broadcast booth, and the referee talking it over with our SU men's hockey staff in that box, trying to decipher what happened. The referee's still going and talking to that Stony Brook bench. So for right now, as things stand, it looks like it might be 5-on-5 hockey, but still getting those details as we're taking a look at things.
Yeah, I think they're pleading the argument, I think, for roughing is what it would be. But either way, it was behind the play. I see the argument coming there from Stony Brook. But, the way the second period has unfolded, they haven't really been calling much, and I think that at some point this officiating crew is maybe going to have to step in a little bit and start to check in on some of these non-boarding calls that we're seeing and some of these roughing calls that are happening way off the puck. They're letting them play for sure, which is always what you want as a hockey fan, but same flip of the coin. I'm sure that Coach Garofalo is arguing for safety of his players and just unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of the day.
So DeSaro is in the box, although it is 5-on-5 hockey. So you wonder there, maybe a game misconduct. But here comes the Seawolves. And Vinta has to be alert to that. Right off the whistle, Trazera, and there goes some more after pushing and shoving Valenti, and Duffy getting into it in the right corner. Referees do really need to get a hold of this game. How many times have we seen after the whistle players just going after each other?
Yeah, that was Trazera there, just giving it to Duffy on just no reason for it, right? Just a little shove in the chest and not really doing anything but kind of slowing the game down here in the second, and just no reason to do that when you're up by 5. Let the game speak for itself. That's what these Stony Brook players should probably do, and if Syracuse wants to come after them, then let them and take power play and continue to pile on goals.
And if you're Stony Brook, the last thing that you want is to give life into this Syracuse team. It is 5-0, but you have someone sent off for a power play. Syracuse is excellent at scoring with the extra skater. 5-1. Looks a lot better than 5-0, but here's McLean, left face-off circle, puts the brakes on, spins, dishes all the way out, just goes beyond Brandt, who recollects it. McLean behind the net. Cook and Sport with him. Cook gets it, sends it up, almost sent it up to Jack Duffy, instead turns it back to McLean. Still in the offensive zone, Duffy all the way to Thomas, shoots, but it's blocked in the end by Trazera. McLean has a shot and saved again by Folia. He's been a brick wall tonight, 28 saves. Gorzelnik on the other side. Great defense there from Jack Duffy, and Finta covers the puck to prevent any chance of a rebound.
You have to go back to that first opportunity there when Syracuse entered the zone. Jack Duffy trying to find Ben Brandt. it was there, and Brandt just didn't have his stick on the ice. And I mean, when you're skating back door like that, it was a tricky pass from Jack Duffy. I mean, he, as you said, he put the brakes on, pirouetted around, and I don't think he was expecting the puck to come to him. But you know, being down 5-0, you have to be ready for anything here for Syracuse.
Syracuse just a step behind so far. 5-0, Stony Brook leads, and they're looking for more. All by himself, though, had to put the brakes on. Legret in forwards. Finta again collects. There's some more pushing and shoving. Cato now getting into it with Fanning against DiNapoli. Still, those two still chirping. Every time the whistle blows, something has to happen between these two sides.
Yeah, DiNapoli just kind of getting in on Fanning, pushing him back towards the net. Again, it's the little extracurriculars that are building here for both of these teams.
Still a very clean game, I guess, from the officials. We've seen a couple penalties, but maybe less, than we were expecting.
Yeah, just about 4 penalties so far this game, and last night there was 4 penalties in the first period.
Cato loses out. Legret center ice. Sends it all the way into the corner for Stony Brook. Finta comes out of his net. Wraps it all the way around. Finds Fanning. Sends it up ahead to Ren. A quick 1-2. Fanning gets it back. Sends it all the way. A great pass to Cook. Shoots, and it's gloved in. Brought home by Folia. And there's Fanning again getting into it. This time with Legret. Fanning not been afraid to do some pushing and shoving.
Yeah, the intensity at an all-time high for sure. There's a decent opportunity there for the Orange to try and find one. I mean, it feels like they have to at least find one goal in this period if they want to have any chance of coming back in the third. I mean, they scored 3 in the third yesterday to go out in front and win by 2, but it's just the more this 5-0 lead sits, the more this time ticks. It's crucial minutes for the Orange.
Be the first time that Syracuse would be shut out against Stony Brook this season. They've really had a lot of success. 2 5-goal wins for them, including another 2-1 win back in November. So to not score against the Seawolves, be a little bit of an interesting storyline for the Orange.
Right, and considering they're 3-0 against Stony Brook coming into this game, you had a 2-1 win, you had a 5-4 overtime win earlier. A little bit surprising.
Syracuse, though, still working Foley's net. He's had to work for a lot of the saves he's made tonight, not making it an easy game in just his 4th appearance. Another 2-on-1 comes. Labos all the way to Vernillo. Takes it himself, goes around Finta, they score! Labos with the hat trick. Stony Brook in cruise control, 6-0, with just 6.5 left to play in the second period. Some very unselfish play there from Vernillo.
That was filthy. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Brought Finta all the way out of his net and then just snuck the puck in right behind him. It does not, you cannot have an assist dirtier than that. Beautiful play by Vernillo and just such an easy cleanup there from Labos. Like you said, hat trick for the freshman. How about it?
Peter Labos out of Plainview, New York. He is a freshman, like you said. He's not playing like one today. Really experienced stuff from him. That was a neat finish. The referees blow the whistle dead as one of the Stony Brook players is down. That would be Malik. Still a little bit slow to get up as the trainers come onto the ice to assess him. But if you're Syracuse, where do you go from here? For Coach Timmons, is it about trying new lines? About maybe getting that one goal just to get something out of this game?
I think it's at the end of the day, it's just hockey. I mean, I don't think you change up your lines or anything here. It's worked for 3 games in a row. You've outscored Stony Brook 12-8 in the 3 games that you played them. It's just one of those days, I think, for Syracuse. I think they probably came out a little bit flat. I think it's more of an energy thing. I think you get complacent after beating Stony Brook 3 games in a row. But, you know, this is, again, it's the number 2 team in the ACC North, and they're showing why today. You know, Stony Brook had a couple of rough games against the Orange, but they've certainly figured it out here this afternoon.
They certainly have 6 goals to the good, and it's good to see Malik get up and skate towards the bench. Took a pretty hefty hit into the boards And at center ice, a couple of the Seawolves players just talking to the referee. It's been a physical game, to say the least. Both these teams exchanging blows. But it looks like he's good to go, at least for now, as the teams reconvene right on that red circle on this near side of the rink.
Yeah, and they'll probably be checking him out for any sort of head injuries. Just kind of got punished up against the glass on this near side like we've seen all this whole second period. Hopefully he's all right.
6 minutes left of the period for Syracuse to get maybe one back. Thomas shoots. It's blocked again by Folia. He sends it up above the crossbar. Thomas recollects his own shot. Still with it for the Orange. Murphy takes a shot himself. It goes right towards the stick and saved by Folia. Emery sends it on the boards. Pendleton trapped in that right corner. Anastasio with him. Emery comes to help him out. He gets the puck back, loses out momentarily. Pendleton swings and comes in, goes down himself. The puck just goes, escapes the offensive zone. Syracuse just has to dump it. That's the Robert Murphy.
You have to give so much credit for how good Fogley has played this game. I mean, 33 saves so far.
Puck just loses Duffy there, but McLean allowed to collect. Wrapped all the way about on their boards. Brandt leads the team in goals. Doesn't have one so far. Duffy tried to work it free. Syracuse can't quite control it, and here comes Stony Brook. Another 2-on-1. Anastasio lets it, shoots. It's blocked and saved by Finta. That's a huge stop on the breakaway.
It was a much better approach to that one. He closed down the angle, came out of his crease, and saw the puck well.
Duffy now seeing the puck well there that time, just sends it all the way into the offensive zone, but Stony Brook again first to the puck and collects. It's given right back to Duffy. A little miscommunication allows the Seawolves to pounce, but it's blown for offside. And, you know, we have mentioned a lot about the play of Folia, but you also can't discredit Finta a lot. We know a lot of the goals haven't been his fault, but he has made some huge saves in his game. You saw a butterfly in the first period. That's another big one on the breakaway just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, this game absolutely could be 8-0 Stony Brook. I mean, but he's made some good saves, and some of them, you know, I didn't think he was seeing the puck great there at the start of the game, just maybe a little bit slow to start. But as the game went on in that first period, like you said, he made some huge saves, sprawling all the way out, and, you know, it's just been a tough defensive go for Syracuse today. Everything's going right for Stony Brook.
Finta with 21 saves on the day. He's still in between the pipes for the Orange. Coaching staff electing to keep him in, maybe seeing if they can try their luck and get one back before the second period's over. Still with it is Syracuse in the offensive end. Wren sends it down to Cook. Fanning behind the net, is trapped, just puts the puck between his skates. It's broken free. Wren collects, left face-off circle, shoots, goes high and wide all the way into the netting. A powerful missile there from Wren. Just couldn't get the right connection and put it on frame.
Yeah, Stony Brook has done a really good job of keeping the Orange out of the slot. They forced a lot of the shots for Syracuse to come from, you know, below the face-off dots, and they've been really tough angles for the Orange. They just haven't allowed many shots to get to Foglia from the blue line or from the point.
It's a good point you make there, Spencer. Syracuse leading in shots 33-27. But Stony Brook has just been more efficient, and that does come down to the opportunities. And here they come again. Mara tries to feed it backdoor, shoots it himself, hits off the crossbar. The second time the Seawolves have hit the pipe. And his shot goes all the way into the netting itself. So a quick response from Stony Brook.
And I mean, it's just another situation where Finta's drawn in 2-on-1, and he's trying to guard two people. He's got to worry about the man in front. That's first priority, obviously, blocking that shot, but he's also in the back of his mind, he's seeing out of his peripheral as well, anticipating that next move. You're asking him to do two things at once. That is incredibly tough as a goalie, and that's how that first goal in the 2-on-1 came for Stony Brook.
Especially with how fast the Seals are shooting. Vernillo sends one all the way into the crease. It goes, escapes everybody. But Finta's definitely had to stand on his head. He's made a couple fine saves. Just some of the goals that have gone in, just been unfortunate. Syracuse down 6-0 with around 3.5 left to play in the second frame. Chesner, the captain on this team, leads them in most games played. Pendergrass gets it to Emery on this near side. All the way up to Brown, who tries to send it back down. It's trapped in the boards. Finally broken free. Labos with the hat trick chases Chesner. Chesner controls it, sends it all the way to Pendergrass, who just tips it forward. Shoots, blocked by Folia. A great stop. He denies Henry Pendleton.
And that was the golden opportunity for the Orange as Joey Trezera had no stick. It was essentially a half power play for Syracuse, and they got a shot off, but that's one where you really hope somebody can be there to clean up the rebound and reset on offense, because Trezera was stickless and just skating around kind of aimlessly, hoping to put a body in front of it, but another missed opportunity for Syracuse.
Missed opportunity, really the key theme of this game. Syracuse generating the most shots, more than Stony Brook, as Wenrick sends one, it's blocked by Murphy. Finta has to be alert to it again, sprawls out and saves it. And that's something that we've seen a lot from him. He'll cover the puck, whereas Folia maybe will just block it, but the spillage is right there for Syracuse.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that's just game management right now. I mean, Stony Brook is in such a rhythm that you don't really want Foglia covering the puck when he doesn't have to. But on the other end, Syracuse has kind of been in a scramble defensively. So that's just Finta trying to slow this game down and get his defense back in order. Maybe hope that his team can win a faceoff draw.
Rugg wins the battle there. Behind the net, almost gets it. He does get it back. Applies the brakes and sends it back. Thomas comes in. But skates all the way down. Murphy comes to collect. Sends it across to Parker. Pads the puck, crosses one blue line, sends it all the way up ahead to Rugg. Shoots himself, and it's gloved in, brought again by Folia. Just another shot where Syracuse maybe can take it a little bit closer, maybe wait for a teammate to come into the action.
Yeah, it feels like a huge chunk of their shots, again, to my earlier point, they've come from tough angles on the sides. If maybe you can find a way to set one back up around the blue line, work the point just a little bit more. I think right now, being down 6-0, it's just the mentality is as soon as I get the puck, I've got to fire, but that's not going to be what wins you this game.
Well, Syracuse has maybe potentially one last go at things in this second period. A penalty coming. I would go against Robert Hyde for Stony Brook. He last played for SUNY Cortland in the NCAA, but now he's in the penalty box. So Syracuse will have 5-on-4 hockey pretty much for the rest of this second period.
Yeah, that's a big penalty. You got to find a way to take advantage of this. Hyde in the box for slashing. He's got 11 goals on the season so far. He's a scoring threat that's now out for Stony Brook.
McLean and Duffy do a little 1-2. Duffy skates to the middle. All the way across to Thomas. Now back to Brandt. Brandt shoots, but it's blocked by Folia. And if you're Syracuse, that's who you want on the puck. Got a power play goal last night. Couldn't have fallen to anyone better.
So I was about to say 5 power play goals on the season. Ben Brandt, that was probably the most energetic and realistic opportunity we've seen from Syracuse in the second period. This is a must-score situation.
Brandt now on the puck, centering pass all the way to Duffy. He shoots himself. Folia blocks again. It's spilled in front. It goes in. Bundle home and scored. Syracuse gets on the board, and it's courtesy of Brendan Duffy. So the power play coming back to bite Stony Brook. Syracuse cuts the deficit to 6-1.
Well, Brendan Duffy is having himself a series here against Stony Brook. 2 assists last night, and finally gets on the board in the goal scoring category. That's a huge find for the Orange. Got to find a way to shut down Stony Brook this next minute 45, or maybe ride this momentum and find one more.
Syracuse took them 38 shots, but they finally get one and beat Folia. The netminder has been absolutely brilliant so far, but he does let that one go in, and maybe this is the spark that Syracuse needs going into the third period. Wren kicks it. Cato applies the brakes and sends it back in. Fanning couldn't touch the puck because he was offside, but he rechecks up. Center ice, though. Here comes Stony Brook. We know he gets shoved into the boards hard. Cook sends Anastasio down flying. Murphy behind the goal line all the way up to Cook, just beyond Fanning. Goes all the way out for icing. So with just under a minute left, Syracuse, though, pulls one back. A little less chaotic, or a goal-scoring period, from Stony Brook. But Syracuse, though, do get one back. That could be a big goal heading into the third.
Yeah, and I think the important thing to take away from that goal is you finally put one on Foglio where he was forced to put a rebound out there, and Syracuse finally took advantage of that. It wasn't just a straightaway shot from the one of the dots. It was actually put him in a spot where he had to make a tough save. Didn't have a chance to just stick a glove out and make it. He had to use his pads. And so if you're Syracuse, you're seeing him make his first error of the night essentially by putting the rebound right in front of the crease.
Cook pounces, right, shoots, and it's blocked. Again, still spilled. Syracuse with a chance maybe to get one back again. But here comes Labos on the hat trick. Skates towards the left, shoots just wide of Finta's net. Vernillo collects the loose puck, sends it all the way into the right corner. He skates and gets it back behind the net. 20 seconds left of the period. Doesn't elect to shoot it. Instead, keeps it himself, does shoot it. Now fired in the top right corner. Stony Brook gets another one before the period ends. Joe Trezera, the senior. And just when you thought Syracuse was getting right back into this game, Stony Brook effectively steals the game.
And that's tough. I mean, I feel like that's just Finta not seeing the puck well. That was as straight on as it could be. It's an incredibly difficult save to make, of course. I mean, he's just sitting right in the slot between the hashes. It's a hard thing to ask your guy to do, to make that save in that situation, but at the same time, that's one that we've seen Finta save routinely throughout this season. When it's straight on like that, he wasn't really screened or anything. It was just a snipe.
A snipe that Finta just couldn't see the puck well, and now with basically 5 seconds left of the period, Stony Brook up 7-1. Scored 4 goals in the opening period, 3 in this period as the whistle blows to end the second frame. Stony Brook just really in cruise control. You thought maybe Syracuse would have some life getting back on the score sheet on the power play goal from Brendan Duffy, but just like we've seen before, there's no let up, no matter the score for the Stony Brook squad.
No, they're playing with some, like I've said throughout the broadcast, it's a revenge game for them. They've had enough of Syracuse having their way and celebrating wins. This team they came out to play today, and they have shown every bit of that. And, this is a good sign for Stony Brook, especially as we near the back into the season. Games like this where you're just continuing to pile them on against Syracuse. This is good for Stony Brook.
It is good for Stony Brook. They're up good, 7-1, as we take a break and get ready for the third period.
After 2, it is 7-1 Stony Brook. It's been all Seawolves through the first 40 minutes, and they are up big on the orange. Start of the third period coming up soon, expecting maybe a different goalie change. Yes, it will be the freshman Cash Lawrence in at goal for Syracuse, who's played in just 4 games so far this season.
And that's a big decision there. We thought we might have seen it when it was 6-0. Then it did get to 7-0. AJ Finta not at fault for every single goal, but this probably is a change just to see if it can bring some life into the orange.
Lawrence has actually played in 6 games so far. He's 1-2 on the season, allowed 15 goals, has 82 saves, and his save percentage about 84 through 229 minutes. He'll get the start here in the third period for Syracuse. Ben Brandt meeting William Cormanick at the center draw. And the Orange win it first, but quickly the Seawolves maintain possession, and we're underway here in the third. Far side, Cormanick controls, rips it towards Lawrence, and he makes his first save of the game.
And the first save is always the toughest to make. It wasn't at a great angle from the Seawolves, but he did have to be alert to it. Just 18 seconds in, he picks up the first of the game.
So the Orange have only given up 7 goals 2 other times this season. They gave up 10 to Adrian. And of course, Adrian, one of the best programs in the ACHA, but they gave up 7 to Westchester in that loss in the 4th game of the season, and they lost both to Westchester, 6-1 and then 7-4.
The good news for Syracuse, though, after that 10-goal margin of defeat against Adrian, they did go on to beat them the next day. So this could maybe be potentially another one of those defining games where Syracuse just has to get it out of their system.
It's just how the hockey season goes, especially at this level. Bound to run into a program like Stony Brook where they're going to score 7 goals sometimes throughout their season. That's just what these teams do. Stony Brook, again, second in the ACCHL North. They have 20 points. Ahead of them is Pittsburgh with 21. And then in third place, Delaware at 19. And then Syracuse in 4th place with 16 points. So the Orange with a win here would have tied Delaware for 3rd place. But barring a pretty incredible comeback here in the third, that doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
And I think the key to just this third period is just stop the bleeding, essentially. Just really hunker down on your defense, protect Cash Lawrence, because he is a freshman, so we do have 2 freshman netminders. It's definitely interesting, but just see if you can get something going and take something positive from this game.
Sent in, blocked. A good body from Kowalski, and here come the Seawolves. Hyde on the right side, fires, just missed the net. Anastasio collects. And Trezera missed the connecting pass, looking for Simber across the center line.
It's another fast start from Stony Brook right out of the gates. Just using that speed again, crossing the blue line just seems like with ease, and sometimes catching, whether it's Finta or Lawrence off guard. They're really quick to release the puck off their sticks.
And going back to your previous point, talking about Michael Foglia, the freshman for Stony Brook, he has been phenomenal today. 35 saves, 36 shots on goal faced, just 1 goal given up to a Syracuse squad that had put up 12 on their starting goaltender. Stony Brook collects at center ice. Vernillo pirouettes and now sends in. Labos will chase after it. He's on a hat trick this afternoon. And the Orange able to clear. Here comes Wren. He gets sandwiched into the boards. Saw a ton of physicality there in that second period. Slowed down maybe a little bit through these first 2 minutes of the third. Labos into the crease off the stick of Lawrence. He was trying to feed to a trailing Anthony Vernillo. Connecting pass missed as they were trying to get it back to Vernillo. Thomas nearly mishandled it and gave it away. Parker back towards the point. He fires in, and a glove save made by Foglia.
It was great individual effort there from Parker. Just shifted the puck really well from left to right, then back to the left side. Was really at center ice and just said, why not, I'll have rip. Was a little bit of trouble in traffic in front of Folia's net, but at the end of the day, he saw it pretty well and just saved it.
We're encouraging Syracuse to look a little bit more above the face-off dots. So that was a good look for the Orange to start the third period. Just took a lot of their shots in the second from really tough angles. Here's a breakaway for DiNapoli, and he elects to send back in and around. Rugg collects, brings it out for the Orange, passes one blue line, has it taken away. A great stick by Legrette to poke it free. And now a high stick will bring the face-off into Syracuse's D-zone.
Just unfortunate there from Weimer. You saw the vision, just trying to get it to him, but at the end of the day, just a little bit of a high stick. An unfortunate call, but the intentions were right.
We see the chippiness settle down a little bit here in the third. That second was pretty violent with a lot of bodies hitting the ice and hitting the walls. Here's Pendleton collecting, centering. Couldn't get it to Emery. He'll collect back around the point. They miss the connection. Chasing back. One more time on the right circle through the crease. Couldn't connect. Kormanek still fighting for it. They get it to Kowalski, and he'll send in and around. Nestepny is there. Malik sends it back through the neutral zone as he kind of accidentally clears the puck for Stony Brook.
That was a crazy sequence. Just the speed there from Kormanek to get across the blue line, beat the puck, and prevent icing, and just high IQ to send it back. Just at the end of the day, couldn't really get the right connection at that back door.
Stony Brook continues to play fast. Here's Malik coming through center ice. Leaves on the right side. Anastasio tried to feed the crease. Kormanek was trailing just too far behind. Now it's Brandt through the neutral zone. Surveys, leaves for Chesner. From the circle, Chesner has it saved. It's loose in front. The Orange collect. Another chance for Brandt. And it's caught up in Michael Foglia. The freshman goaltender stands strong.
And you can see Brandt there, just head in his hand, looked up to the sky. He knows what a good chance that was. Just tried to sneak it in to that near post, but Foglia had it covered all the way. Just wondering if he could maybe have sent it low or tried to aim for that top right corner, or top right corner. Would have been a little difficult, but with a player like his caliber, easily could have had one there.
He's the sniper of this squad. 17 goals, a hat trick last night. He's had Stony Brook's number, has 5 goals against the Seawolves this season. McLean behind the net, the Orange maintaining possession. McLean trying to work, has it jarred loose. Chipped up into the air, gloved down by Stony Brook. Gorzelnik couldn't collect, but now it's Anastasio. He sends into the neutral zone. Gorzelnik pushes it forward for Hyde. Hyde rips a shot, and Lawrence saves up and out of play.
Fantastic save there from Lawrence. Hasn't had to face too many shots. Just 3 to start this third period. That was definitely his best save of the night. It was force behind that from Hyde. He just caught it on the pads and sent it up. He's played so far so well.
And this Stony Brook team just continues to do so well, moving the puck through the neutral zone with some speed and getting quick shots in on net. But to your point, Cash Lawrence, a couple of early saves here in his third period debut. Stony Brook working the forecheck. Cato lost his stick. He was the one on the puck for the Orange. Seawolves trying to work it back to the point. And they just barely keep it in, but it's turned over. Cook sends for Wren. Down below the dot, back to Cook. Takes a hard hit from behind. Great defense there. The Orange can't keep it in. And here comes Stony Brook. Joey Trezera along the left boards, now sent back towards the center line. Wren couldn't jar it free. Mara lost it. And a good clear from Chris Fanning.
That's just what you want to see from Fanning right there. Sends it all the way far.
And after subbing in, or rather this is Mara still, Stony Brook had pretty much an entire line change except for Lorenzo Mara, who stayed on the ice. Off of Parker's stick, chasing after it. Him and Winrick get into it. Parker takes a spill. Vernillo collects far corner. Haskins comes away with it. Rugg fighting to keep it in for the Orange. Sending a centering pass. Fanning tried to send it in. It got blocked before it got there. Murphy sticks it out of play.
It's great positioning there from Murphy. Just read the puck read where Vernillo wanted to go. Didn't really stick his stick in and bite. Instead, just stood tall. And in the end, he did send it into his own bench, so they got to be a little bit alert on that Orange sideline.
Seen a lot of pucks here at Tennity fly into some dangerous locations. We've had them hit the broadcast booth. Have a couple souvenirs up here as the Orange win the draw. Had some good pressure here in the third period. Opened up well against Stony Brook, who's just been all over the Orange's offensive zone. Or defensive zone, rather. Winrick dumps in. Collected by Murphy. And Pendleton lost it, so it's sent back in by Stony Brook. Murphy behind the net. Sends right side. Thomas flying down the right wing. Sends in a shot. It's sticked away. Pendleton one more time back towards. It was Emery.
It's great improvisation there from Pendleton. I didn't think he saw Emery at all.
Would have been beautiful had they been able to connect. Stanapoli takes a shot from Brendan Duffy. McLean takes the puck away. Racing along the left circle. Pirouettes. And looks back to the point. Shot fired in and glove save made by Foglia.
It's a good reaction save from Bowen. Shot there from Foglia. And again, a great play from McLean. Just skates so well. Pirouettes, like you mentioned, and just found him towards the top of the blue line. And Brown said, why not? I'll have a go. And it's more shots from beyond that face-off dot, like you said earlier.
Jake Brown hasn't been all that active in the scoring sheet this season. Has just one goal on the year. Tried to find his first there as he awaits at the point. Kicks it in, and it stays in the offensive zone for Syracuse. McLean tried to find Brandt inside. Chesner working after it. McLean fighting hard. Chesner comes away with it. Centering. Shot just misses high. Brandt had the stick on it. That's the chances that the Orange have just not been able to convert.
He almost converts on that second chance there. It felt perfectly to him. You thought in that position there was no way he was going to miss. I think maybe just had too much time, too much space, and just overthought the shot.
Had the right idea, but no time for that. The Orange down by 6. Chesner trying to pry it loose off of Trezeris' skate, and he'll just happily kind of sit on it along the boards. The puck leaves the offensive zone for Stony Brook, and we see that physicality rising back up. Quickly, Valenti picked up the loose puck. Good stick from Brown to keep it out of the crease. Chesner collects back to Brown. Stony Brook strong on the forecheck, and the Orange clear, icing waved off.
I think at times it's just a little bit too easy for Stony Brook to break through the Syracuse defense.
Hyde nearly put Cato in a blender. Was able to stay with it. Von Tersch sends around left side. Wren will work it. Delivers a big body check to Valenti. Wren's shot saved. Von Tersch off the pads. Loose in front. Bodies in the crease. Foglia is down, and it's a delayed penalty. Now the whistle's blown.
It's the story of the game for Syracuse. Just sending so many shots in that crease. It was really chaotic traffic. Von Tersch, the extra skater, just found himself in a position similar to where Ben Brandt found him. Instead, there was just so much traffic. The puck just couldn't squeeze in one of those little angles. Lawrence decided to go to the bench, almost made it there, but instead the referees blow the whistle, so Syracuse score on the power play in the second period. Maybe we'll see if they can do it again here in the third.
So Valenti will head to the box. He's the one who got called for the penalty. So the Orange on the power play have one power play goal in this game, or rather in this series. Stony Brook has a power play goal this game. Cross-checking the official ruling. Jack Duffy ahead to Brendan Duffy. Brendan sandwiched against the walls. Now to Jack. Left side. Thomas shoots. It's loose. And the Orange couldn't put it in. McLean was all over it. Foglia had it between his legs and had no idea.
I'm just scratching my head. How did that not go in? The puck looked like he was on the goal line. Foley had no idea where it was.
Brandt trying to work to his right, and the zone is cleared. Unreal.
Again, chaos on the power play for both squads, really.
And no trip called there on the back end. And so we play on. The Orange couldn't believe it. But Syracuse just has not been able to buy a goal this afternoon.
And if Syracuse were to score a goal.
Thomas quickly on the right side has it saved. Brandt, McLean, back to the point. Murphy. Now left side, Thomas back to Murphy. He sends in off the deflection. A great save made by Foglia.
Foley has just been absolutely unreal. And just going back to what I was going to say earlier before Thomas coming off there, if Syracuse were to score a goal, I feel like that bundle the line kind of goal is what they'll get. They've had decently good looks, but it just seems like Foley has been on his A game. He's read the puck very well, and his angles have been astute as well.
45 saves for the freshman in just his fourth game, second start. An incredible effort earning his stripes out there today. Scramble forward in front. Stony Brook tried to clear. Murphy keeps it in. Chesner surveys. Back to him. At the dot. And we get a whistle.
Yeah, it's interesting from the referees to blow the whistle before the shot was taken, and it looks like a couple seconds here of 4-on-4 hockey.
So they got Cook, and he'll head to the box.
Not sure exactly what the penalty was for. I know he was a little rough with a couple of the Stony Brook players down near Folia's crease, so all I can imagine is, maybe he gets called for the cross-check, but
maybe some sort of crease violation
yeah,
on Cade Cook, but either way, we'll have 4-on-3 hockey to start.
it looks like the referees decided it might be matching penalty, so
No, 4-on-4. They just had the 5-on-4. Okay, so we're 5-on-4. The Orange still on the power play. 10 seconds left on the penalty kill for Stony Brook. So Cook is off for cross-checking. But Haskins was also called for cross-checking as well. So with 8:30 left to play, we are at even strength. 5-on-5. Lawrence sticks it away. Rugg collects. Duffy tried to send it to Parker, missed him. Instead, it's going to be Valenti collecting. And he'll send in. Rugg, a weak back around pass. Now it's Murphy. And Winrick just dumps in. Stony Brook content with the dump and chase method, but not even having to chase, up 6 goals. Brendan Duffy dumps in. Nobody really there for the Orange. Parker will get there. He's the only one in the zone. A couple of numbers float in for the Orange. And he is pinned up against the boards, loses his footing. And Cormanick takes it away, across the center line. Cato sends ahead. It's loose. Emery couldn't get there in time. A good job by Foglia to come out of his crease and stick it away.
The puck just beyond Emery there. You thought maybe he could slide to get it, but Foglia alert to the danger, and he's been alert to all the shots he's had to face tonight too.
Pendleton moves forward for Emery. Back to Pendleton, and they miss the stick. He'll stay on it. Beats Anastasio to it. In the left corner. Von Tersch, Cato, right point, chipped on the way in. And a loose stick prevents Foglia from covering. He'll nod his head and say that's okay. Von Tersch back for Cato. Now Pendleton, the Orange haven't really been able to set anything up despite holding some offensive pressure here late in the third.
It feels like this game's been really played a lot in the neutral zone.
The last couple of minutes, that's certainly the case. Wren takes a spill. Jack Duffy picks up the loose puck and just can't move it forward. Great sticks from Stony Brook to really prevent anything from getting set up on the Orange. Gorzelnik sends around. Hyde is there. Centering pass. The first one was saved, and so is the second. Cash Lawrence standing strong as he denies R.J. Simber.
Simber just didn't get the power or the direction he wanted to. He did put it on frame to Lawrence, but it was a rather tame effort nonetheless. Lawrence, though, still did have to be in the right position to make the save. But Simber, it was free in the middle. Almost added an eighth for Stony Brook.
Syracuse wins the draw. Out in front, now sent back into their D zone. Collected by Jake Brown. Great stick from Simber. This Stony Brook forecheck has given Syracuse issues all afternoon. And now offside, or high stick rather, called.
It's the second high stick call we've had in this period, and again, another one against Syracuse. An unlucky break because Parker almost was free. He was battling at that blue line. Couldn't just get the right call because he would have been one-on-one.
Just when it felt like the Orange were going to break that forecheck that the Seawolves have been just causing chaos with on this side of the ice. The high sticking sends it all the way back to their D zone. Too quick on the draw. We'll reset. Simber and McLean. McLean wins it. Lifted high towards center ice, and Duffy mishandled it. Simber again. Save, but loose in front, and Lawrence gets on top of it.
It just all started from Syracuse, lofted it all the way towards the roof of Tennity. Maybe got lost in the lights a little bit, but Simber, how about the awareness and IQ to just pounce on that and just take it himself? Fires it out. Lawrence, who does spill it initially, but does a really great job of just springing out and having reaction saves because at that back post, Stony Brook was free.
R.J. Simber has had three really nice scoring opportunities. And Ben Brandt is going to be called for a penalty here. And the slash is going to send him to the box. Brandt almost just looked content with that call, didn't object at all, just gave the referee one nod and headed to the box, knocked the stick right out of Joey Trezera's hands.
And the second penalty of the game for Brandt. And yeah, no complaints for him there. He did almost create a scoring chance himself, but just deemed illegally by the officials.
So Brandt's third penalty of this two-game weekend series. He'll be in the box for 2 minutes. And Stony Brook can just kind of cruise here on the power play with as we approach 5 minutes left to play here in the third. Hyde gains the zone. Now it's Pendergrass on the right wing, 2-on-2. He elected to shoot. A nice pad save made by Folia. Winrick collects. Brings through. And sticked away. Here's Emery. The Orange have not scored a shorthanded goal. Cormanick onto the right side. Mara. Parker clears. So nearly a minute gone in this power play. Stony Brook, nothing doing.
They don't really need to do much either. I mean, they are up by 6 goals, but just a little surprised because they do like to shoot the puck. So, it's something to keep in mind. You got to keep going until the whistle blows.
Just been so aggressive all afternoon. The Stony Brook power play, 17 goals coming into this one. They have one already this game with Paul DeSaro. He scored the opening goal about 3.5 minutes in on the power play. Just over 4 remain. Labos brings into the left corner. Now Labos again. Floats the pass back up towards the blue line.
The goal just comes off its rocker there, so the referee blows the play dead. Lawrence just puts it back on the pipes, but good vision and awareness from Labos. Thought he could have taken the shot, could have gotten his 4th, but it was very, very unselfish there. Instead, decided to pass it to Anastasio.
So 20 seconds remain on the power play for Stony Brook. Labos is the one in the circle. A hat trick this afternoon for the freshman. Brought in just 4 goals to this game and has 3. On the right circle, Haskins couldn't stay with it. Labos will send back around. Legret back to him. To the high slot, off the pads of Lawrence, and he'll just be content with covering.
It's good vision and awareness there from Lawrence, just recognizing the danger that's around him. Stony Brook still, or at the time that they shot it, they were on the power play. Now Syracuse was able to kill it, so just great vision and awareness there from Lawrence. I've been really impressed with him since he's come in. It's not an easy game to come into, especially with the magnitude of shots he'll face, but he stood up tall very well.
43 shots for Stony Brook this game. 7 of those have found the back of the net. Lawrence has not given up a goal here in this third period. Hasn't quite faced the volume of shots that Finta did. Here's Anastasio, and he scores right on cue. Matthew Anastasio, the freshman. 6th goal of the season. And he finds the first one on Cash Lawrence of the third.
It's an unfortunate shot there from Lawrence, just as we were praising him too, saying he's doing a great job. And again, it's one of those goals where not entirely his fault, just tucked in right into that corner, top left. One that he'll probably want back, but again, just great work from Stony Brook to stay persistent and keep the puck alive.
I should probably find Cash Lawrence after this game and apologize for that absolutely outrageous announcer's jinx that I just gifted him. 8th goal for Stony Brook here today. It's just an unreal showing from the Seawolves. Lawrence sticks and couldn't clear it. A dangerous mistake. And he's able to cover, but tried to send back around his net and just hit the back railing.
I think maybe just inexperience there from Lawrence. He is a freshman, and he just started to come in this third period. So, definitely something he'll learn from, but yeah, very, very close call there.
It's one of those moments where if you're an experienced goalie, you might be able to casually kind of handle the puck with your stick as a defender flies at you at 20 miles an hour, but Lawrence, being a freshman, not appearing in very many games, nerves may have got to him a little bit there. DeSaro recollects, sends back around for Trezera. He'll move it between the legs of Malik. Icing waved off. Murphy is the first one there for the Orange, who whiffed on his first clear centering pass. Missed the connection with DeSaro, who was looking for his 2nd goal of the game. DeSaro has it again. More extracurriculars starting to unfold as McLean gets into it with Anastasio behind the play. Just over 2 minutes remain here in the third. Emery across the center line. Chesner Back behind the net, pass in front, couldn't get it there, and it escapes the zone. Von Tersch collects and dumps in.
I think it was just a little bit too late there from Chesner. Thought he maybe could have passed it sooner. Instead, just took it behind the net, and the chance was gone.
Now a 2-on-1, but a good stick from Chesner to get it back. As R.J. Simber, who's had a great third period, just peppering Cash Lawrence, almost had another opportunity. Pendleton moves forward. Puck spins on a dime right at the blue line. And Gorzelnik collects. Simber fighting with Cook. He brings in and around. Pirouettes, nobody in the slot. And the Orange, two defensemen in Caddo and Duffy will backtrack. Duffy's there to break up the pass. Can't clear it out of neutral ice. Wren, now Jack Duffy.
Last minute of play in the third period.
Hyde in on the forecheck for Stony Brook. And the Orange push into their zone. Valenti collects, sends around to the right side. Here's Hyde. Stony Brook looking for one last push here with 45 seconds remaining. The Orange just trying to prevent giving up 9 goals here and live with the Snowman. Jack Duffy to his left. Wren, 30 seconds left. Can the Orange find one more? Maybe end on a positive note before they head to, or rather Pittsburgh is who they welcome for their next opponent for Alumni Weekend here at Tennity Ice Pavilion. And it doesn't look like it as time winds down. 5 seconds left. Caddo collects, and he will just bring it back into the D zone. Time runs out, and Stony Brook, a statement of a response to pick up their 14th win overall.
Just a game where Syracuse never looked like it had control of. Didn't start the first period horribly, generated a ton of shots, and in fact led in the shots department 49-44. But at the end of the day, it came down to opportunities, and that's exactly what Stony Brook made use of. The shots they took, high volume shots, ones that generated enough time and space for them to find the back of the net. So if you're Syracuse, just put this game behind you. You had a good win yesterday. Definitely learn from it, but focus on the next couple of series, which are going to be pretty big in terms of the standings.
Well, maybe one of these games where you think back to when you lost 10-4 at Adrian and then turn around and beat that team 3-2 the next day. Look at the positives. Orange 49 shots, as you said, compared to 44 for Stony Brook. You went 3-1 against the Seawolves throughout the season, so to your point, this is one you put behind you, look at the positives, and you get ready for Pittsburgh next weekend here at Tennity Ice Pavilion. That's going to do it for us on SU Hockey Network. For Spencer Buley, Caitlin McDonough, so long, and we'll see you next weekend at Tennity Ice Pavilion.